I gotta say, the biggest challenge here was figuring out what the title was supposed to be. It mixes English and Japanese freely, references a movie title, and played off the game's characters. Trying to capture everything here in English would be even more unwieldy than what I have. Osomatsu-kun is one of those franchises that's been around since the 60s, is wildly popular, and totally unknown outside of Japan. The show is about a set of 6 brothers, their extended family, and their friends. The story begins with Osomatsu finding a scroll depicting an ancestor who lacks his notable giant teeth. His family are known for their huge teeth, so he borrows a time machine to go visit this ancestor and find out why she was different. You'll bounce around between the present, the Edo period, and the prehistoric past, first trying to get to the bottom of these teeth, and then trying to put history back on course after your actions screw everything up. This is an adventure game, and it's one of those where you have icons instead of words. And for most of these, you don't pick out a secondary option. If you choose the shoe, you don't pick your destination, and if you choose the ear, you don't get to choose the conversation topic. The exception to that is the examine command, where it requires that you point out on the screen what you want to examine. You'll also encounter first-person mazes that you have to explore, and some sequences where you have to fight people by choosing what weapon you want to use. You have a health bar in this game, and the things that make you lose health are pretty arbitrary. Talking to the wrong person, for example. You have to sleep at an inn in order to recover life, though that is really expensive. Some game events don't occur unless you have enough health, though, so sometimes you just have to do it. At the inn, you can also choose to get a password, and if you do that, then the game automatically goes back to the title screen. Which means to save your progress and keep going, you have to re-enter the password that you just got. I found there were a lot of usability problems with Osomatsu-kun. Things like how you can just get stuck while you're walking around the map if someone walks close to you, or how a lot of the progress events aren't really signposted. You have to keep going back to the time machine and then thinking about what you're doing in order to advance the story, for example. The way that it progressed for me was that I first found out about the ancestor and had to talk to a bunch of people around town. With the time machine, I went back to the Edo period, stole a ninja's equipment, and had a chat with a shogun before I wandered around a 3D maze for a while. Then I went back further in time where I dealt with a prehistoric dentist, and eventually fought a cat dinosaur. And then I lost all of my money gambling trying to get a key item so that I could continue the game. The adventure design here is pretty poor, with a lot of backtracking, a lot of busy work, and a lot of repeating commands for no good reason. But that said, this Osomatsu-kun game is really well regarded in Japan. Apparently the humorous tone of the original comic comes through here. Speaking of that original comic, at one point in this cave, you get asked a quiz, and if you wrote your answer down on a postcard provided in the package and got the answer right, then you could have won a complete set of the Osomatsu-kun comics. That was 30 books at the time the game was released. Despite how well it's loved in Japan, I don't think I could get into Osomatsu-kun even if I tried hard. It seems like it's packed with the kind of humor that doesn't translate well. And the adventure game itself wasn't very strong. I guess this one's just not for me.